Hi, it's Leslie Zemeckis, back with another Write for Success. This week, I have another international bestseller. I just finished her the night before, and I could not put it down. There are enough twists and turns that the reader cannot get ahead of this story, and I loved it. In just days, her latest will be released, and my copy is coming. It is Don't Look for Me, and promises to be a compelling and emotionally powerful story about a daughter's desperate search to uncover the terrifying truth about her mother's disappearance. Wendy Walker is a former attorney and has also worked in finance. I think these experiences give her writing and her novels extra depth. Her stories have been praised for being addictive, compelling, irresistible. They have been translated into 23 languages and optioned for TV and movies. Before she gives you her tips, I have her book trailer. And then we will have Wendy Walker and her writing tips. See you back here next week for more stories. Remember, stories matter. Yours, hers, his, ours.
It's Wendy Walker. I am here with 3 writing tips for you. Now, I write psychological thrillers, but I think these tips will apply to pretty much anything you might be writing. The first is character development. I can't stress this strongly enough. If readers attach to your characters, they are going to stay with your book to the very end. They're going to remember your book. They're going to recommend it to their friends. And when your next book comes out, they're going to buy it because they are going to trust that you are going to bring them great characters, or maybe you're even writing a series and they're going to be dying to know what happens to those characters in the next installment. The second piece of advice I have is about brevity. Now, not everyone agrees with me on this point, but I am very much in favor of moving a story along and not spending too much time in a particular description of a character or a scene, unless it's really adding to the plot or is really essential to creating atmosphere. So many things that we experience can be described with really familiar words and familiar descriptions. For example, ocean waves. Pretty much everyone knows what that sounds like and what it feels like to be by the ocean. The same thing with the smell of coffee. That is such a visceral feeling that it produces when you tell someone that it smelled like coffee. You don't need to find an interesting way or a new way to describe the smell of coffee. Just bring the reader into the scene with these familiar aspects whenever you can, and then move forward. The last piece of advice I have is really unpopular and hard to hear, but you have to learn to let go. I have written so many pieces of novels and even full novels that will never get published and will never be fully developed. And sometimes things just don't work. Either you write yourself into a corner with the plot, or your characters just aren't really working, or you're not able to build enough suspense in the structure of the story, and you just have to let it go. And rather than look at it as a waste of time, try to think of it as if you had taken a mini class and gotten a little bit better as a writer. Because I guarantee you the next time you sit down to start a new project, you won't make the same mistakes that you did in the one that didn't work. So I hope this was helpful, and happy writing, and stay safe and healthy during these difficult times.